Your dog just settled beside you and exhaled. Long, slow, deep. You have heard that sound 100 times. You probably never thought much of it. But that one breath is one of the most honest things your dog will ever do. And it is just one of 8 things your dog does every single day that most people never recognize for what they are. By the end of this video, you will know all of them. And number 4 will completely change how you see your dog. Number 1. The sigh that means you are enough. When your dog finally drops down beside you and releases that slow exhale, most people assume the animal is simply tired. Reasonable assumption. But that is not what the body is doing. That deep breath signals a physiological shift out of alert mode. Muscles release, breathing deepens, heart rate drops. And here is the critical part. Dogs only enter that state when they have decided their environment is completely safe. Think about what your dog's nervous system is doing all day long. Their ears are constantly scanning, picking up the mail carrier from half a block away, a bird on the other side of a window, a plastic bag crinkling in another room. Their brain never fully stops monitoring, but the moment they settle against you, something shuts off. That exhale is not fatigue. It is your dog deciding, at a biological level, that nothing in the world needs watching right now because you are already handling it. That is not a small thing. That is the highest compliment a prey-aware animal can pay another living being. Number 2. The head tilt is not cuteness, it is effort. You say something to your dog, and their head tilts to one side. It happens so often that it has become one of the most recognizable images in all of pet culture. For decades, nobody had a solid explanation for it. Then in 2021, researchers in Budapest ran a controlled study with 40 dogs. The dogs who had learned the names of specific toys tilted their heads 43% of the time when asked to retrieve one. Dogs who had not learned those names barely tilted at all. That single finding reframed everything. The head tilt is not a reaction to a strange sound. It is concentration. The dog is cross-referencing what it is hearing against what it already knows. It is the animal version of leaning forward when a conversation suddenly gets interesting. When your dog tilts their head while you are speaking, they are not performing for you. They are working. And the fact that they are willing to put in that kind of cognitive effort every single time is a form of attention most people in your life will never offer you. Number 3. The lean that bypasses words entirely. Your dog steps close, then slowly presses their full weight against your leg. No warning, no hesitation, just solid pressure. Here is what is happening beneath the surface. Physical contact between a dog and their primary person triggers an oxytocin response in both bodies simultaneously. Oxytocin is the same neurochemical that creates the bond between a parent and a newborn. Researchers found that this response is strongest when the dog initiates contact, and when that contact is directed specifically at their primary person. A stranger standing in the exact same spot produces almost no reaction. The animal knows the difference, and most people respond to the lean without even registering that they are doing it. The hand moves to the dog's head automatically. The body shifts slightly inward. For a few seconds, neither one moves. What is happening in that moment is 2 nervous systems exchanging a signal that no language has ever been able to express as efficiently. Both bodies are simply saying, "This is right." Number 4. Your scent activates the reward center of their brain. A neuroscientist at Emory University trained a group of dogs to lie perfectly still inside an MRI machine. Then he introduced 5 distinct scents: a stranger, a familiar dog, an unfamiliar dog, the dog's own scent, and the scent of their owner. Out of every option tested, the owner's scent produced the strongest activation in the caudate nucleus, the region of the brain associated with reward, anticipation, and positive emotion. Not food, not other dogs. A piece of cloth that smelled like you was enough to trigger the part of the brain that registers something as deeply wanted. A follow-up study found that 13 out of 15 dogs showed brain activity in response to their owner's voice that matched or exceeded their response to food. 13 out of 15 chose your praise over a treat. Not because of conditioning, because the brain had already made that decision long before the study began. You probably do not think twice about a shirt left on the floor. Your dog finds it, and their entire reward system responds. You are not just someone they live with. You are built into the architecture of how their brain processes what matters. If this is changing how you think about your dog, subscribe. We research and explain dog behavior so that owners can actually understand what their animal is communicating, not guess at it. Number 5. Before they react to anything new, they look at your face. Something unfamiliar appears in your home. A box by the door, a suitcase in the hallway, anything the dog has not encountered before. Before they approach it, before they bark at it, before they do anything at all. Most dogs do one specific thing. They look at you. Researchers at the University of Milan documented this in a controlled setting and found that 83% of dogs checked their owner's face before deciding how to respond to a known object. When the same setup was repeated with a stranger offering identical facial cues, the dogs showed far less interest in that feedback. It was not the expression that mattered. It was whose expression it was. This behavior is called social referencing, and it is the same mechanism that leads a toddler to look at a parent's face before deciding whether something is dangerous or safe. Your dog is not just observing the world around them. They are using your emotional state as a navigational tool. A 30-kilogram dog staring at your face to determine whether a cardboard box is a threat. That dog is telling you something very clearly. Your read on the world is the one that matters. Number 6. Their sleep changes when you are not in the room. Hungarian researchers attached sleep monitors to dogs and tracked their brain activity over multiple nights. Some nights, the owner was present in the room. Other nights, the dog slept alone. Every other variable stayed constant. Same location, same bedding, same conditions. The only difference was the presence or absence of one specific person. The results were consistent. Without their owner, the dogs entered deep sleep less frequently. Restlessness increased. The overall architecture of their sleep cycle was measurably disrupted by a single absence. Think about the people in your life whose presence in a room actually changes the quality of your sleep. That is a very short list for most people. Your dog has that same list, and you are on it. When your dog follows you into the bedroom and curls up nearby, they are not just seeking warmth or habit, they are finding the only environment where their brain will let them fully rest. Number 7. The long look from across the room. Your dog is lying on the other side of the room. You look up and find them already watching you. No leash in sight, no treat involved, no obvious reason. Just a relaxed face and steady eyes pointed directly at you. A landmark study published in the journal Science examined what happens in the body during that moment. When a dog and their owner make and hold eye contact, both produce a measurable surge of oxytocin, and the two responses feed each other. The more the dog gazes, the more oxytocin both parties generate. The more they generate, the stronger the impulse to continue the gaze. Back and forth, each cycle reinforcing the next. The researchers tested this same dynamic with wolves that had been raised by humans from birth. Nothing. No response. The loop does not exist between humans and wolves. It only developed between humans and dogs, over thousands of years of shared history. Most people have felt that look and not had the words for what it was. Now there is a word. It is chemistry, and your dog started it. Number 8. They built a language just to reach you. Your dog walks over carrying something, a toy, or something else you would rather not examine. They set it down in front of you. Then they look at you, look back at the object, and look at you again. That sequence is not accidental. Researchers identified at least 19 distinct gestures that dogs use to communicate with people on purpose. Every one of those gestures satisfies the scientific definition of intentional communication, a deliberate signal directed at a specific individual with the expectation of a response. And if that response does not come, the dog adjusts. They move the object closer. They repeat the look. They try a different approach. That is not instinct running on a loop. That is problem solving. Your dog could not use words, so they built something else. A system of movement, eye contact, and sequence behavior that carries meaning. They found a way to reach you using the only tools available to them. Your dog does not have access to the word for love. They cannot write it down or explain the feeling when you walk through the door. But every single day, in gestures quiet enough to miss, they have been communicating it. A sigh when they settle beside you. A lean that asks for nothing and says everything. A look from across a room that triggers the same chemistry in both of you. 8 signals. 8 ways your dog has been recognizing you all along. Now that you know what they look like, you will not miss a single one. And the next time your dog does something you cannot explain, come back. We will break it down. And the answer will almost certainly make you feel something.